Welcome back now to OSBA TV. You're tuned into Orangeville Prep taking on the Vaughan Voyagers at the end of one half. It's 58-37 for the Orangeville Prep Bears. Leading the way in all scoring right now is Ignis Brezdikas with 18 points. On that team, following him is Junior Farquhar, who's got 12, Aaron Ray with 8, and Keyshawn Saunders with 9. On the other end, it's Willie Tran and James Canless leading the way for their teams tied. Both of them have scored 10 points, and then it's Latif and Todd with 4 and 5 points respectively. The Vaughan Voyagers were able to put up 19 points in that first quarter, but it was Orangeville's 32-point performance that would keep them having this lead right now so far in this game. Here's Ignis Brezdikas up top over to Saunders. Saunders pulls up from beyond the 3. Ryan, you were talking about how ice cold this team was now. I mean ice in their veins, not ice cold. They're super hot actually from beyond the arc, and it shows moving into this second half.
Absolutely, even with a hand in their face, still able to knock it down. It really doesn't matter who's on the floor right now. And Coach Nathan Johnson not pulling any punches right now for Orangeville Prep. This is the starting 5. These are the guys that you'll expect any game of the week to start off this second half.
2 for 2 now from beyond the arc for the Orangeville Prep Bears to start off this second half. Here's Willie Tran now. Over to Small Martin. Right back to Willie Tran. A great defense there by Karnick, but an even better finish by Tran.
Great finish by Tran and a great pass as well on the inside. And Vaughan really, despite the score, have shown impressive abilities in passing and moving the ball around in the perimeter and down the inside so far in this game.
A pass is picked off there by Canless, and now it's Small Martin going up. Great finish there by Small Martin.
Small Martin, no hesitation whatsoever. He knows how high Keyshawn Saunders could jump. He saw Keyshawn was right next to him. Didn't matter. Got up. What a nice little hook shot there to finish off the glass.
Knocked out of bounds off of White. It's Vaughan ball now on the sideline.
You look at this Vaughan team, Kelsey, and just how athletic they can be as well. They've shown their ability to be able to make some big shots right now. Really, it's just their defense at this point that they got to try and get some way to stop Orangeville from scoring, and they'll have a shot in this.
Well, Ryan, that one just short, but you talked to Coach Gimenopoulos right before this game, and he said something about size coming up against this team that, like you said earlier in the broadcast, is averaging 6.7.
Absolutely, well said.
6.7.
Yeah, no, very well said, Kelsey. No, it's true. Unfortunately, as in Vaughan as well, being a local school in the York region, trying to recruit certain players from outside of the province can cause a bit of a challenge for those guys, because it's, when you have an organization like Athlete Institute who actually has their who has a lot of their players living on campus right now. Vaughan, unfortunately, is a secondary school. It's a regular public school. They don't necessarily have that kind of housing available for some of the players that they want to recruit. So because of that, you're not going to see guys that are going to be coming in that are going to be 7 feet tall unless they're from the York region, more or less. So with that added in.
Like Andrew Wiggins just a few years ago.
Exactly.
Here's Aaron Ray now. An easy bucket on the left-hand side is good to bring them up to 66-43.
And really, just to continue that thought briefly before we move on to the game, is really just kind of results in teams having to be as efficient at passing and as efficient as at making those shots like William Tran just put up right now.
Willie Tran, nothing but net there. Big three-pointer for the visiting team.
Well said. And if you're going to be a guard-centric team, you got to be able to knock down those shots, and you got to be able to move the ball lightning quick.
That's their 5 right now, too. Willie Tran is playing the center position, able to chuck it up from beyond the arc. Looking for the answer here is Junior Farquhar, the 1. So we got 3-pointers from 1 to 5 here on the floor at 69-46. Just under 7 minutes left to go in the third. Latif now to Tran. Tran swings it all the way to Small Martin. He makes some space with his body, gets some space away from defender Saunders, able to put it up off the glass.
One thing about Vaughan, every bucket that they've scored here, they've earned it. They really have, Kelsey. Just another example right there.
Farquhar now up top, gets it into Karnick. Karnick has got 3 guys on him. It's stripped, and now in the hands of Small Martin. Knocked away by Keyshawn Saunders. Great hands there. He's able to strip him. Now out to Brezdikas from the 3. That one is no good. Latif picks it up, gets it out to Small Martin. Hands it off there to William Tran, and he just can't finish.
That one's going to cost him right now. And that's a backbreaker for your morale as a team because these guys are scoring good buckets so far.
A pass is a little bit too long here for the Voyageurs. It's going to be Orangeville ball on the baseline. As Keyshawn Saunders takes a quick seat on the bench, it's Matthew Alexander Moncrief who comes on now for the Bears.
And see, plays like that are what can affect your hustle, especially for teams this young, right, in the high school level. When you see guys have an open look like that and miss it, especially in a game where you guys are, let's call it what it is right now, it's a 21-point lead. You need to get every bucket you can, and when you see missed shots like that, it hurts.
Ray goes up. That one is no good, but it's knocked out by William Tran. It's going to be Orangeville ball on the baseline. 5 minutes, 40 seconds, left to go in the third. Moncrief will bring it out for this home team. He gets it into the PG up top. Rejects the screen from Karnik. Tied up there with Tran for a second. There's going to be a traveling violation. It's going to be Voyageurs ball on the sideline.
You know something interesting, Kelsey? I haven't seen anyone call a double dribble in forever.
Double dribble's not a call anymore. It's a travel.
Really? It's just a travel now? Huh.
Timeout called on the floor. It's by Orangeville Prep. Ryan, at the end of the first half, the score, was not this. Orangeville has put up a good number of points now. They're sitting at 69-48. What have they done well so far?
Really, just more than anything is just execute by hitting open shots and continuing that transition offense that they've done so well so far. But we have also seen a little bit of stalling, if you will, in even just a good example right there is Farquhar rejecting the screen and then ends up getting tied up, almost kind of feeling like he could do it himself, or maybe he just felt like he was going to try and throw the defense for a loop there by going on the opposite end. But the result of it was Vaughan was not buying it, and they've just stayed as tenacious as you could hope for from a team in their position right now. But one thing that I am more or less impressed by with Orangeville Prep is their continued hot shooting from the three-point line.
They've been able, Ryan, to put up 11 points so far in this game. Again, it hasn't even been 5 minutes in this third quarter. But on the other end, the Vaughan Voyageurs have put up 11 points as well. Both teams now have scored 11 going into this last 5 minutes, 30 seconds of this quarter. What are they doing right?
Well, really, more than anything, they're just taking advantage of Orangeville Prep's mistakes. Guys are getting caught napping on defense, and it's actually been Vaughan that's been the one that's really been showing off the transition ability so far in this third quarter by running as soon as they get the ball, and they're creating turnovers in the backcourt too, which is essential if you're going to beat Orangeville Prep.
Great read there by O'Shane TD. Ignis Brezdikas cutting off Small Martin, not letting him get the pass. TD saying, okay, I'm going to take that one myself. Ignis Brezdikas falls there, gets it out to Ray. Ray comes off a screen, drives. He tries to dish it out there to Moncrief, but it's stolen by Canless, and on the other end, Latif puts it in for two.
Ray had some blinders on there because he had a wide open Ignis Brezdikas sitting in the corner on the left-hand side. He was waiting for Moncrief to sit there, but Moncrief had already cut to the basket.
There's a foul here called on Vaughan. Nobody telling Junior Farquhar that there's a double coming. Chucks it up from real deep there, but unfortunately that one doesn't count. It's going to be Orangeville ball on the sideline as Keyshawn Saunders makes his way back onto the floor.
Interesting to see here, Kelsey. It really kind of seems like Orangeville's kind of taking their foot off the gas here, if you will.
Here's Farquhar to Saunders. Saunders rejects the screen, goes with a full steam of head.
And as I say that.
Yeah.
I guess it was just a couple of bad sets.
Here's TD now up top. Gets it over to Tran. Tran swings it over to Latif. He chucks it up from the three. And Junior Farquhar now will pick up his third foul. Wazir Latif now goes to the line, could make it a 4-point play. Aaron Ray is checked back into the game.
Very impressive finish there. And unfortunately, that's where you're going to need to see every single time if you are a Vaughan Prep fan watching this broadcast. Vaughan's just going to need to continue to find those open shots when they get them, but also continue to move the ball consistently. But once again, right there, that's just some clutch shooting, Kelsey. This team has been on fire from the three-point line, especially for a high school team. This is one of the better three-point shooting performances I've seen from both teams in a very long time.
Latif connects from the charity stripe. It's now 71-56 for the Bears. Saunders will bring it up for the home team. Able to get past his defender into Moncrief. A big block there by Taryn Todd.
Absolutely impressive finish there, and more importantly, to kind of get past him in midair and also make sure that it was all ball. What a defensive play that was by Todd.
Tran now pulls up from beyond the 3. That one just long. A big board there by Moncrief, knocked out of his hand, and it is going to go back to Vaughan. 24 seconds on the shot clock.
And Vaughan creating every opportunity that they can right now, Kelsey. Just trying to make the most of everything that they get, even off of mists.
Small Martin will take it out for the visiting team. 4 minutes left to go in the third. He gets it over to Latif. Latif slings it up for the 3. It just rattles out, but Taryn Todd there to clean it up.
And oddly enough, here it is. Orangeville Prep now getting caught ball watching, not boxing out the man, as Taryn Todd taking full advantage.
Maybe it's just that side of the court. Here's Aaron Ray. He cleans it up, but it's stolen. Here's Taryn Todd on the other end. Isn't able to connect. That's 2 now missed open layups on the fast break, Ryan. Here's Ignis Brasdikas.
They can't afford
Spots
that.
Up from beyond the 3, and of course, it's good for 3.
You can't afford missed shots like that, because Orangeville can turn it on in an instant just like that right there with Ignis Brasdikas. What a shot.
Kwakume now over to Small Martin. They swing it all the way over, and now it's back to Latif. He drives, dishes out to Small Martin in the corner. That one no good. An easy board there for Karnik.
That's a bad shot there for Small Martin.
Ignis Brasdikas goes all the way, can't connect, gets his own rebound though, and tips it right back in.
There's Brasdikas.
Timeout called now on the floor for the Vaughan Voyagers. When they come back on, James Canlis will come back onto the floor for the visiting team. And on the other end, Thomas Shilton will make his way into the game. Ryan, just less than 3 minutes left to go now in the third. It's 76-58. Orangeville, as soon as you kind of said they had a slow start, have pulled away once again.
That was Ignis Brasdikas just deciding that he was ready to play offensively. That really was. You saw, just for starters, hitting that step back three-pointer, and then right there not giving up on the play, missing his own shot, getting his own rebound and putting it back once again. That was a 5-point swing in a matter of, what, 20 seconds? And it puts them right back up by 18. Once again, when you have players that have that kind of ability and can make those kind of decisions, and even when you watch them play at this level, it just seems like they're always a step ahead of other players. And it seemed like this run by Vaughan had kind of woken up Orangeville a little bit, and once again we're back to square one almost, as we were at halftime, Kelsey.
Speaking of Vaughan, however, they came out in this third quarter ready to play, trying to capitalize, and successfully most of the time, I'll say 90% of the time, capitalizing on all the mistakes that Orangeville Prep kind of had in their complacency. Vaughan, who's your all-star so far in this game?
The all-star, I think, would be Canlis, just because of how many knockdown three-point shots that he's made up until this point. And more importantly, though, the kind of passes that he's been able to throw off when he's been under pressure, or also just the fearlessness of attacking the baseline and finishing up and under the rim when you've got guys that are about 6'10", 7 feet that are blocking you. You know, that's not something, I don't care who you are, you're not used to seeing that necessarily as a pro basketball player, no matter how big you might be. So to have that fearlessness to just kind of finish under the rim and hit big shots in the corners, it's definitely Canlis.
And like I said, Canlis has subbed back into the game now, still leading the way with 10 points for his team. Here he is, pulls back for the step back. That one just off the mark. A big board by Willie Tran now, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Tran goes up, and there's a late foul called there on Matthew Alexander Moncrief. Tran will go to the line for 2.
And Tran would definitely be my my second choice, obviously. As you can see, a guy right there, it doesn't matter what position he's playing on the floor, he's ready to go at all times.
Tran now playing the 5 position because there's a few injuries on this team. Guys like Ja'Cory Cunt, Joseph Thomas, who usually play that 5 position, have kind of put Willie Tran in the position where he's got to play the 5, guarding guys like Brett Sloan on this team, who stands at 7 feet, guarding James Karnik, who's standing at 6'10", some big bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing that Tran does have going for him is size. He's about the exact same
6'5".
build. Yep. He's almost the exact same build. Give away 2 inches of Ignis Brasdikas, and you can see how physical he can get. So
Keyshawn Saunders taking things into his own hands now. 4 seconds on the shot clock, drives down the middle, and he'll go now to the charity stripe for 2 shots.
You want to talk about a guy who, you know, coming up in the system and learning everything there is to learn, playing behind some guys that are actually playing in the NBA right now. And Keyshawn Saunders, he's been here since, he's been one of those original guys, really. here in Orangeville Prep, and he's showing it right now. Just his lightning quick ability to get to the rim, playmaking abilities. He's going to be a big addition to anyone at the next level.
This is third year here at Athlete Institute, and you can see how much he's grown if you watch him 3 years ago. I mean, still
just his arms. Look at his arms up.
Still an incredible athlete if you see 3 years ago, but he's really kind of perfected his skills so far this year. Again, averaging, I'm not sure the exact number, but I would say in the 20s right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Willie Tran up top. Couple crossovers, a couple spin moves, and off the glass is good for 2 points. You can see now, Ryan, why he's one of my favorite guys to watch in this league.
Absolutely. Gets physical, takes the contact, goes up with the left hand and finishes. I wouldn't be surprised if that would have been a foul in the pro game.
Here's James Karnick, the biggest guy here in this game, goes up off the glass. The ref actually put his hand up there. He wanted to call that foul. I don't know if you saw that, but let it go. And that happens a lot when you're just so much bigger than your defenders. I mean, people just think that you can take that kind of contact.
Yep.
Obviously missing that one, but I'm sure he'll come back and get a little bit of revenge.
One thing I want to see Karnick do a little bit more consistently in this game is get big, get tall, because he was very crouched over there, fading away. You don't need to do that when you're 6'10".
Ignas Brezdikas on the other end. On the left-hand side, it's up and under. A little bit of spin on that ball makes it good for 79 points.
And speaking of keeping the ball up high, there's Brezdikas with a perfect example of what he wants to do.
And on the other end, a big block for number 33 of this white team. A couple substitutions on both ends. O'Shane Taylor-Douglas and Cassius Small-Martin come in for the Voyagers, and it's Junior Farquhar and Julian Lepp for Orangeville Prep.
Well, this is going to be an interesting thought process now from Coach Johnson taking Brezdikas off, because you can imagine Brezdikas, he's had his eye on the score for a lot of this game so far. It's only a 15-point lead now for Vaughan. A good run by Vaughan can make this a game.
Brezdikas, though, just last week had to go to the hospital, actually, so sick. So, I mean, giving him a rest might not be the worst thing in the world, but it's Ben Kwakume right here. He's going to be called for the foul on James Karnick. It's going to be Orangeville ball. A great press there by Vaughan.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a frustrating call if you're a defender, because you know you're going after the ball. You know what your intentions are, and you can literally feel the ball. So anytime that you're kind of, I like to call it exchanging shoulders with the offensive player, the ref will just see it and they'll see the contact.
Saunders slings one up. That one just long. Here's TD. Going to go coast to coast. That one is good to bring them to 66 points with just over 30 seconds left to go in the third.
This has been a very impressive quarter by Vaughan. They've cut down the lead. They've actually kind of returned the favor to Orangeville Prep by continuously finishing on the transition. And we'll see if they do it again here.
Here's O'Shane. TD finds himself wide open. It's good for another back-to-back off the glass layup.
Julian Lepp was not ready for that. Excuse me, sorry about that, Kelsey. But yeah, Julian Lepp was not ready for that defense there as TD just blew right by him. What a finish.
Here's Ray out to Saunders. Saunders slings it up. That one is no good, and that will end the third quarter. At the end of the third, it is 79-68.
That quarter was definitely won by Vaughan. Excellent defense, excellent finishing on the transition, and most impressive about that is when things didn't go their way, or when they got a ball that rimmed out on transition, on layups and things like that, they didn't get down on themselves. They just got right back to the other end of the floor, continued to play tough defense, and they're going to make Orangeville Prep work for it in this final quarter.
Yeah, you are exactly right, Ryan. Vaughan did win that quarter. They had 31 points in that one. Orangeville 10 points behind with 21. They're still leading the way, though, 79-68. Guys, we'll be right back for fourth quarter action. Welcome to fourth quarter action here at Athlete Institute. The Orangeville Prep Bears are taking on the Vaughan Voyagers right now to start the fourth quarter. They are leading the way 79-68. Here's James Canless over to Ben Kwakume. Dished out to Wazir Latif. Tries to put it up, but a big rebound there by Aaron Ray of the Bears.
Well, there was the attempted Euro step there, almost a cheeky finish, if you will, but just could not finish it.
Here's Farquhar over to Ray, hands it off now to Brezdikas. Brezdikas slings it up from the three. That one is no good. Ben Kwakume goes up, that one just doesn't fall. Keyshawn Saunders will be given that foul, and it's Kwakume who's going to go to the charity stripe now for 2.
Unfortunately, Keyshawn Saunders decided to go up against the smallest guy on the floor, and Kwakume, being the fearless guard that he is, was going to go up every single time. And he got the worst of it, and thus the refs called it.
Kwakume stands at just 5'9", the smallest guy so far on this court, although his hair probably gives him a few more inches. It doesn't count when we're doing the measurements. He nails the first one from the line.
I think I'd even take it a step further. He might be listed the shortest listed player on an active OSBA roster right now at 5'9".
Maybe.
I think he is, because there's only, I can only think of one more player in Father Henry Carr and maybe one more player for, yeah. Everyone I'm thinking of is 5'10" or 5'11". At least that's what they're listed as.
Saunders makes it look easy, getting past his defender to bring his team into the 80s. Here's Kwakume. 17 seconds on the shot clock, punches into that zone, puts up the floater over Karnick, but it is no good. Able to get his own rebound here, but it's a steal by Karnick. Here Saunders now goes all the way. That one is good for 2 points as he does kind of a somersault, acrobatic move on the baseline there to kind of catch his body.
When you move that quickly, you're bound to have some sort of collision with the wall there, Kelsey.
Kwakume so good at punching that defense, gets it out to Latif. Latif chucks it up, and another rebound by Aaron Ray. He is definitely having a double-double here tonight.
Absolutely, and those are not the shots that you can afford to miss, especially when you've got guys like that, like Keyshawn Saunders, that can knock it down. This is a smart timeout. Don't let them get any farther ahead than they are right now, because Orangeville Prep, they can beat you in so many different ways, and right now that's a perfect example of back-to-back threes.
Ryan, before this timeout, we saw that Willie Tran is making his way back onto the court with a substitution. How important are the minutes that Willie Tran is putting in, and how much is he going to make an impact in this last 8 minutes?
It's going to be huge when you consider the fact that this is a guy that's, he's the one player on Vaughan that can kind of do everything as far as finishing under the rim and hitting outside shots. Other guys are extremely good at specific parts of the game. William Tran is very good at all parts of the game, where really even when he's facing up defenders and dribbling the basketball to a certain extent, he can get by his defenders if he needs to, especially when he's working with screens. He's got good vision to kick it out to guys who are open on the three-point line, as we've seen multiple times in this game. And above all else, though, he's got a knack for the ball in the red paint. When it's down there, he can go after it, and more importantly, he can finish with the contact, the kind of contact that doesn't get called for fouls. And that's something that is rare to find on this Vaughan roster so far.
Well said, Ryan. Now moving into the last 8 minutes and 17 seconds of this game. It's 86-69, and after that three-pointer by Saunders on the 45 here, it's going to be Vaughan ball on the baseline. It's going to be Latif taking it out for the visiting team. Gets it into O'Shane TD, guarded closely here by the PG of the other team, Junior Farquhar. At the 45 now, they get it into Willie Tran in the high post. Tran looking to pass it off here. Now stepping it up himself. He drives right. Looks like he almost tripped there, but that foul is going to go to Aaron Ray.
Really, some good defense there by Aaron Ray. I'm going to be honest. I don't necessarily see where I saw the specific foul. I guess he was just body checking him a little bit too hard for the referee's liking.
The referee said that you pushed him off with your hands a little bit. Aaron Ray kind of giving the thumbs up, saying, whatever you think, buddy. But William Tran now at the charity stripe for his shots. 8 minutes, 2 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter.
I'm sure he was just like, sure, why not?
Whatever you saw. Here's Ignis Brezdikas.
Ball doesn't lie, missed shot.
Brezdikas looks to go coast to coast, gets it out to Ray. Ray puts it up from the corner. It's no good. A big rebound there by James Karnick, but there's going to be a foul called on the rebound. Orangeville ball on the baseline. Oh, Willie Tran throws it right into the back of Ignis Brezdikas, the two, laughing it off, giving a shake of hands. You can tell William Tran, as soon as he let it go, you could kind of see it in his face. He was like, oh, whoops.
You can see literally both teams are all smiles at this point off of that. So it's good to see a little bit of lightheartedness given how intense that this game has been so far.
Saunders, a quick release. That one just off the mark, a little bit long off the back rim, and it's O'Shane TD who's blocked by Keyshawn Saunders. Both of them head into the wall on the other side now. Here's Farquhar. Out to Brezdikas. Brezdikas launches. That one, nothing but net.
Yeah, he was setting up there for a good 5 seconds waiting for that pass.
And you can see it's another assist now for Junior Farquhar. We talked about him being the triple-double machine here, as O'Shane TD on the other side gets another 2 points for his team.
Full credit goes to Vaughan. They have made some tough shots in this game. My goodness. Defenders right in their face, up and under the rim against guys 6-7 inches taller than them. This has been an impressive performance regardless of the score.
Ray, another Euro step, a beautiful finish with his right hand on that left-hand side, very LeBron-esque.
Yeah, very much. Speaking of impressive performances, Aaron Ray, never disappointing.
Canlis from the corner. They love the corner, this Vaughan team. A huge rebound by Willie Tran, able to clean it up.
And that's what it is. That's what it's all about. William Tran, he's got something going for him. Not a lot of people talk about it. He's got extremely long arms, and he's shown him off there by just grabbing it. He was only about 2 or 3 inches off the ground, and he was already grabbing the white part of the backboard there.
Here's Saunders.
Yeah.
Looking to get past Willie Tran. Tran will be called for the foul, and it's going to be Orangeville ball on the sideline.
That was a good call by the referee there. It was a clear reach in. Just Keyshawn Saunders is so quick that he was able to create the separation almost immediately, but it's still a reach in nonetheless.
Farquhar up top. Gets it in to Karnick. Karnick, those strong putbacks he has there, that one just doesn't fall. 6 minutes, 22 seconds left to go. O'Shane TD pulls up from the foul line. Nothing but air on that one, but an offensive rebound nonetheless. Cassius Small-Martin chucks it up, but it touches the shot clock. It's going to be called out of bounds, Orangeville ball.
OTD, I'm not going to be mad at that shot right there. He had a bigger man on him, did the one dribble to the left, able to create the separation, goes up for the jump shot. He's just got to knock it down at this point.
And there's still 6 minutes to do that, Ryan, so still tons of time. Here's Farquhar. Puts a little jumpy up from the mid-range. His jump shot has been so lethal. Maybe not in this game because he hasn't had to bring that part of his arsenal out, but it is there, and you can see that with that play. He gets the block there, but Latif able to get that offensive rebound, puts it back up for 2 points.
And that's what we're talking about, Vaughan, just consistently. And there's a foul.
Brezdikas goes up for the 5th dunk of the game. That one will not fall, but he's going to go to the charity stripe for 2 shots with just over 5.5 left to go in the game. Couple substitutions for both teams for the Orangeville Prep. Thomas Shilton makes his way on for Karnick, and for Latif, it's going to be Todd Tarrin who comes onto the floor.
Just once again, this Orangeville Prep team, just how impressive is their offense when they get running, Kelsey?
Very impressive, and that is in part to do with their leading scorer, Ignis Brezdikas. Ryan, he just came back from the Basketball Without Borders event during All-Star Weekend down in New Orleans, and you can tell when he comes back to a game like this, the league like the OSBA, that he is one of the best players in Canada right now. If not, I'm going to say it, the best. And he is voted the best for his class 2018.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to argue with that right now. I don't see a lot of guys putting together a full game the way that he does, and his ability to consistently finish at the rim. A lot of guys will try, and even when they're attacking the rim, go up and under. This is a guy that will go high and forward every single time, and the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, that he consistently finishes in traffic every single time. And then when you look at the spot-up shooter that he's become.
I was going to say, we don't have live stats here in this OSBA league, but I'm excited to see his shooting percentage from beyond the 3 in this game.
Absolutely. When you add in the fact, Kelsey, that, this is a guy that even just last year, he wasn't necessarily known as a three-point shooter. He had a very impressive mid-range game, but if you're seeing some of the shots that he's making now, it's nothing short of impressive, and it's just really a great progression in his game.
Thomas Shilton able to get his hand there in the passing lane, knocks it out of bounds with 19 seconds left on the shot clock. Todd brings it out for Vaughan. You can see the jumping ability. He's got springs in his step there with Junior Farquhar. Tries to get the dunk in for Saunders, but Aaron Ray cleans that one up. A little less pretty, but still worth the same. There's going to be a delay of game warning here for Orangeville. Vaughan ball on the baseline.
Yeah, no, I think it's warranted at the same time. You know, Orangeville Prep knew what they did in that situation. They were trying to create a bit of a highlight there, and it didn't necessarily work out the way that they were hoping. Because of that, they get the warning. Simple as that.
O'Shane TD picks up his dribble, gets it over to James Canlis. Canlis looked good from our angle, but just a bit long, and it is Cassius Small-Martin who's there to clean it up.
Cash is not his best game this game around, but still there when he needs to be.
Here's Saunders now up top. Into Ray in the corner. He slings it up, goes off the backboard. That is the worst for a shooter. He gets it back now, drives baseline, but he's going to be called with the travel. It's going to be Vaughan ball now on the sideline.
That was a good call by the referee there. Was able to recognize that Aaron had left his pivot foot before he had dribbled the basketball. Thus, it is a travel.
TD hands it off now to Small-Martin. He drives middle, gets it out to Canlis. Canlis now to Tran. I was going to say, as soon as Todd touches it, everyone has had their hands on it this possession. Willie Tran just loses it there. It goes right off of his foot with 6 seconds left to go. But going the other way now, it is Bears ball on the baseline. How many B's did I put in that sentence?
I couldn't. You flew them by me, Kelsey. I have no idea what's going on right now.
Here's Farquhar now up top for Orangeville.
Oh, good steal there.
Great steal there by Cassius Small-Martin.
Another great steal.
But another one. It's a steal party down there. We talk about block parties all the time, but a steal party, somebody has to call the police. There's two there.
Swiper's convention right now, Kelsey.
Oh, there we go. I like it. I like it. Cassius Small-Martin goes the other way. That foul is going to go to number 15, Thomas Shilton, and Cassius Small-Martin now will go to the line for 2 shots.
And Cassius, we just talked about him having a relatively quiet night, considering he's one of the guys that this team really leans on. Great take to the basket there to try and really just put some points on the board before the end of this game and see if they can try and have a way to build some sort of run. All it takes is a few points, Kelsey.
Absolutely. Runs can happen, and we talk about that all the time. These quarters are 10 minutes long. That's 40 minutes of basketball. It is a lot of basketball to play, and really anything can happen. A 19-point lead right now for Orangeville in the last 3.5 minutes here of this game. Here's Saunders. Sizes up OTG and throws it up from beyond the 3. Just off Ryan, kind of just rattled out there. Here's James Canlis, puts it in on the other side.
That's some great transition offense right there. Just seeing the cuts, making the moves. A very well-polished team here in Vaughan. They just, unfortunately today, they just seem to, they're lacking the size, Kelsey. That's really kind of what it is. A lot of great second chance points and also leaving shooters open like that.
Yeah, Ray just off the mark there. A rare miss for the Dartmouth commit. And here's Willie Tran, knocked away by Keyshawn Saunders. Back to Willie Tran now. A great pass into James Canlis. It's good for another 2 points. In the next possession, it's going to be an Orangeville substitution. Matthew Alexander Moncrief will come in for Thomas Shilton.
It's a high IQ basketball play there by Tran on the other end.
Brezdikas. Shooter's roll is good from number 33.
And Small-Martin had actually blocked him, and the ball still went in.
Is it going to go to Small-Martin? Is that actually his 2 points?
Scoring on his own nets.
TD gets another 2 points for his team there. 101-86. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the game. Here's Ray over to Farquhar. He spots up from the 45. It's just off. Shilton gets his first rebound, but it's blocked by TD.
And don't look now, but Vaughan still has a chance at making a run here if Orangeville Prep is not careful with these possessions.
A great finish there by James Canlis. They're up to 88 now with just under 2 minutes left to go in the game.
That's what it is. You got to create that pressure. Vaughn's
Here's Ray.
Well.
Over to Saunders. Saunders drives baseline, kicks it out to Brezdikas. He spots up from beyond the arc, just short. A big board now by Willie Tran.
And once again, that's some great defense there, as we saw Taryn Todd getting right up in Brezdikas' grill before that shot went off.
There's going to be a foul here on Thomas Shilton on the rebound. He's going to be subbed off by Matthew Alexander Moncrief, and it's going to be Vaughan ball on the baseline. Another substitution in for Vaughan is number 12, Wazir Latif. He's going to take off Taryn Todd, and Brett Sloan now will come in for Aaron Ray.
I like this idea, bring in the bigger bodies, fresh bodies as well on top of that. Control the rebounds, control the possessions. That's something Orangeville Prep needs to do at this point to close out this game.
Cassius Small-Martin brings it out for this Vaughan squad. 14 seconds now on the shot clock. Just under 1.5 minutes left to go in the game. The big body of Brett Sloan standing at 7 feet scared them there. Keyshawn Saunders on the other end. Nothing too fancy. The finger roll on the right-hand side is good to bring them to 103.
Not only the intimidation factor there, Kelsey, the actual physical bump that knocked him off balance that caused that turnover.
Up top now, Latif. Just off the mark. Big board there by Shilton. Here's Keyshawn Saunders now bringing it up for the home team.
I think that missed shot was the nail in the coffin here, Kelsey. We might be able to wrap this one up with under a minute to go.
Here's Matthew Alexander Moncrief goes up. That foul is going to go to Willie Tran, and the young gun of the Orangeville squad will go to the charity stripe for 2 shots.
Moncrief, he won a dunk contest earlier this year out in Ohio. Saw how he finished it between the legs in a 2020 class. I mean,
he's super bouncy, very athletic, just a freak athlete altogether. And you can see really his development from the beginning of this year, even to now. We're almost done the year. I guess we'd like 3/4 done the season. You can really see how much he's developed his game.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, when you're covering the high school game, a lot of these players they're on the hyperdrive, you know, as far as their body development goes. So
they're different players from the beginning to the end.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, every time. It doesn't matter what year they are. They're always going to get a little bit better. And at this level, you're only going to see progression from a lot of these guys.
Here's OTD now. Driving, dishes out to Latif. He's going to be called with a traveling violation. With 38.6 on the clock, it's Orangeville ball on the sideline. Enough time now for 2 possessions. Farquhar. He's going to look to use all 24 seconds of this possession here. Being guarded closely by OTD. Wants that ball back as Farquhar pulls up from the 3. That one is no good. Here's Willie Tran coming back the other way, using those long arms to really create some space between him and the defender. It's knocked out of bounds by Orangeville. It's going to be Vaughan ball on the sideline, 18.3 on the clock. If they score here or if there's a steal, Ryan, this one could end it. Orangeville, I don't think, will go up for another shot.
No, I don't think so either. And it's unfortunate to see William Tran with still dealing with that sore ankle, because if that ankle was clean,
there's a lot of possessions that go different ways for him.
Well, not just that, but also even just that very last possession there. Who knows what he would have tried to pull.
Absolutely. This one is going to end it 105-88. Orangeville now tied for first with 13-1. Vaughan Prep moves now to 2-11, still in the 9th spot in the OSBA.
Now, you know what? I'm going to say this right now, as disheartening as it is to lose the way that Vaughan just did. What more could you really ask for? They made their shots when they needed to. They attacked the rim as much as they could. Unfortunately, Orangeville Prep's dominance on controlling rebounds, it really what defined this game was that first quarter, Kelsey, with Orangeville Prep going up by 20. From there on out, the teams were evenly matched. So Orangeville really dominating and taking control of that first quarter, especially in the red paint. Really, that was the game right there.
Very right. In the second quarter there, they still won, but not by as much. And then it was that third quarter that Vaughan really made a push for it, winning that one by 10 points. And this fourth quarter, obviously you can see here, it's going to end 105-88. Make sure you tune in, guys. The next game of the week is just tomorrow at Bill's Brothers, when Father Henry Carr will take on BCSS. It's going to be a great game. Make sure you tune in 7 p.m. at OSBATV.com.
Take care of yourselves. Have a safe night. We'll see you tomorrow.